So this is the book we're going to read. It's called Where's the Dragon? And as you can see, it says, with over 75 hidden dragons for you to find. And my official page turner here, Flora, is going to help us turn the pages. So Flora, can you start us out and turn the first page? And again, this book is called Where's the Dragon? And it's illustrated by Richard Hook and written by Jason Hook. And just see if you can see any dragons in the video here. All right, Flora, you can turn the page. Each and every year on the first day of summer, little George hurried off to visit his grandfather. The old man had a dog named Meg and a workshop full of wonders. He would carve anything George asked him to. Kites, clocks, flutes, fiddles, and wonderful wooden dragons. And as he carved, Grandfather told amazing tales about an enormous old dragon who lived in the mountains. His tales seemed so real that George felt he could almost see the dragon. See any dragons in here? Okay, go ahead and turn the page, Florrie. But this year, as Grandfather finished his tales, George asked, "Do you think perhaps I'm too old to believe in dragons?" "Seeing is believing," cried Grandfather. "It's time I took you on a dragon hunt." He asked George to carry all sorts of strange things down to his boat. A telescope, an umbrella, a magnifying glass, and an ancient yellow map. Finally, Grandfather put on a hat with a long, fluffy feather. "This," he chuckled, "is my dragon hunting hat." All right, Flora, you can turn the page. Off they sailed to hunt for the dragon. George was so full of questions. It was a wonder he didn't burst. "Is he a big dragon?" asked George. "As big as the sky," roared Grandfather. "He must be easy to see," said George. No, not at all," said Grandfather. "To see a dragon, you must hunt high and low, and always believe hard enough." When night fell, they tied up the boat and found a nice place to sleep. As they settled down on the riverbank, George, Grandfather, and Meg stared up at the sky. "Look, Grandfather," whispered George, pointing at the stars. "What's that winking in the sky?" "Ah, yes," sighed Grandfather. "What a beautiful moon." They all slept well. They all dreamed of dragons. And Meg snored so loudly that the ground seemed to shake and shudder. All right, Florrie, it's time to turn the page. In the morning, Grandfather's boat had vanished into thin air. Was it the dragon? George wondered. "Not at all," grumbled Grandfather, who was a little nearsighted. "Dragons always leave footprints." Is there a footprint there? Yeah, you think so?
So inside it?
Yeah. Can you turn the page? And dragons always live up on mountain tops, said Grandfather, striding off up a path. A tail! A tail! George cried, trying to catch up with the old man. We've no time for tales, puffed Grandfather. There's a dragon to hunt. Did dragons breathe fire? Panted George. Not at all, wheezed Grandfather, taking off his dragon hunting hat and mopping his brow. My, but it's hot today. Does that look like fire to you, Flora?
Yes.
Yes. As they reached the top of the mountain, George was sure he believed in dragons. He pointed and shouted, "His eye!" "Yes, it is high," said Grandfather, who was a little hard of hearing. "Dragons always live up high." "Its mouth!" shrieked George. "Of a cave," shouted Grandfather. "So that's where the dragon is hiding." And with that, he leapt into the darkness, waving his umbrella about his head. George yelled out. Meg barked. But it was too late. Uh-oh. Are you nervous? A little bit? Yeah. Perhaps it was the dragon hay fever. Perhaps it was a dragon cold. Most likely, it was the long, fluffy feather on Grandfather's dragon hunting hat. Whatever it was, it made the dragon sneeze. A sneeze that shook the mountain. "Quite a breeze blowing," bellowed Grandfather as he somersaulted over their heads.
It was a dragon.
You think so? All right, turn
Look
the
at
page. The dragon hunt was over. "Next year we'll hunt higher and lower and believe even harder," cried Grandfather. "Then we're sure to see the dragon." "Of course," chuckled George, holding Grandfather's hand and winking at Meg. After all, seeing is believing. How many hidden dragons did you find?
A lot.
Yeah, let's see if we see any here. We see one there.
And here.
I wonder if my friends can find it if I just leave it on the video. What do you think, friends? Can you find it? All right. It says the answer is at Grandfather's house. Should we turn back to Grandfather's house and see if we can see the number? Okay. Is it in this picture or is it at the front of his house?
Maybe
Let's see. No, maybe it's at the front of the house. Oh, look. What number house is it? See it?
76.
76 dragons. All right, my friends, there you have it. 76 dragons.